Hello and welcome to a brand new thing. This game came out just very recently in a playable early access stage. It's not like a full release or anything, but yeah, this is Hardspace Shipbreaker, which I actually put on my Steam wishlist only to have it immediately gifted, more or less, by one of my Patreon supporters, Hildebrand. So a big thanks to them for that. And it does look very interesting. I have watched a bunch of videos, streams. I have done the tutorial. So I have a rough idea of what I'm doing. But I'm still a little rough with the control scheme because it's a full 6 degrees of movement control scheme when you're floating around in space. So we'll see how I do. That's probably the thing I'm going to struggle with most. I am actually using a controller for this, and the controls are not bad, although I wish I could remap one or two buttons, but for the most part it's all right. But yeah, it's kind of quite, I don't know, there's something about it, even just having played the tutorial. It's quite enjoyable so far. I mean, there's definitely missing features. You saw there on the menu. There's probably some bugs and whatever, and I don't doubt that in terms of balancing or whatever, things will change as well. But yeah, despite the fact there's, I think, not that many classes of ships, there's probably just enough to play up to what's the max tier of ships? Is it like 6, 7, something like that? So I think there's like one ship class per tier that I've seen. I've only seen somebody playing up to the second class of ships, but that seems like the sort of thing where additional types would be added over time. So yeah, like I say, I've done the tutorial already, which gets you up to rank 4. Rank 5 is when you start getting the second levels of ships. I've knocked off a little bit of the debt. There's one of the kind of the driving thing of this game is you have this huge mountain of debt that you are trying to plow through, and you can help yourself a bit along the way, but yeah, you need about, at the start, about 500,000 credits just to service the interest and the rental on your various equipment, because it's a very, it doesn't make any bones about its kind of stance on, the state of unrestrained capitalism. This is very much a dystopian future, as the intro makes very, very clear. And it's almost unclear as to whether the debt is you having just been brought up here and brought into service, or if you just have obscene amounts of debt anyway because it's a horrendous dystopian future. Maybe that's just how much university costs for Americans in the future. Literally $1 billion. I don't know. Anyway, so I've done basically whatever stuff the tutorial upgrades gave me, plus I've gotten the O2, the air capacity upgrades, which, as you'll see, is going to be fairly important because you're floating around in a spacesuit with a very limited air supply. So yeah, you have basically a single class that you start off with, but they're very modular. They've obviously done this on purpose so that they haven't had to basically handcraft every single ship that you deconstruct or deconstruct. Even you have this kind of modular system where I'm guessing it will, on the fly, it will come up with the different configurations, and they're all worth different amounts. So it actually says their total value. That one's 3.9, that one's just over 4, so we'll take that one. And it tells you what kind of hazards are involved and the kind of total amount of scrap for each one. So yeah, we'll go with the most valuable one. And in some ways it's quite, well, I don't know if there is a fail state for this game particularly. I don't know if you can accumulate so much debt that you just then auto-fail the game, or if you could just, you know, keep going however long you want to. But yeah, so I'm not. There's not too much pressure overall. It's not too bad. You'll have to let me know what the sound is like, by the way, the sound levels.
Got the DNA to be a great salvager one day. Literally. Your report here says your blood work confirmed ideal genetic makeup, physique, intelligence, and psychological profile for the position.
I'm just gonna... I swear I changed the controls, but my... I accidentally changed it back at some point. Oh, Oh. Controller, what are you doing? Okay, my controller might be a little sensitive in terms of the... No, we don't want the AZERTY keyboard. Oh. There we go. Okay, that might have been a glitch there for some reason. It was set, but... I had to reset it. Anyway, so yeah, you've got a kind of cutter tool and a grabber tool, and you have to take apart the ship in a way that's not going to cause it to go kablooey, because if you do things the wrong way, it can and will go boom in a variety of spectacular manners. So there's things like the reactor, for instance. The reactor, the moment you pull that out, will start to melt down up until the point where you get on the salvage barge down there. And if that happens, obviously the whole thing's going to go in rather spectacular fashion. And if you yourself get killed, well, that's not such a big problem, because you have clones, but they charge you for every time they clone you. They'll give you a new clone body, so yeah. Right, as you can see, yeah, I really wish the X button gives you that kind of push, and I really wish that was the down control instead of... that's the one that catches me the most, but I'll just have to get used to it. So here's our cutter tool, and there's like a cutter head that we use to cut the yellow points, but there's like a precision mode that you start off with as well. But you have to be relatively close. I haven't upgraded that yet. So yeah, you zap things. There's certain things that you have to zap, other things that can't be zapped. So yeah, you have to be a little bit careful sometimes. And some things, if you zap them, they will go kablooey, as I've said. So yeah, you have to definitely be careful. So we could use the tether system. There's actually a way of kind of roping things around the place, but that's... In the tutorial you get lots, and not so much in the main game. You've got a limited amount, although you can increase that. So for lighter parts, we're just going to stick with pushing them in the direction of the barge. Save the tethers for when we need them. It's more for having to go back and forth to get the tethers, I think, because otherwise it's you know, you want to waste the least amount of time going to get oxygen and thruster fuel. Right, apparently I didn't give those quite enough of a push.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
If I finally found a way of dealing with carriers, how do you mean, Beaver? I have watched even just the like, these are obviously supposed to be a small class of like utility shuttles, and there's kind of like a passenger flavour variety which has a bunch of seats inside, and then didn't do that quite enough. There's a cargo variety, although you wouldn't be able to carry much cargo in them, but anyway. But yeah, the next class up is already quite big in comparison. Oh, no, that's the... I'm going to have to get used to the... you push down the thumbsticks to rotate yourself. I keep wanting to do the shoulder buttons for that on my controller, but it's not that at all. So, yeah. I have to be a bit careful. So if you see me struggling with controls, it's because I've only played this for 2 hours so far. But I think once you get the hang of it, movement is actually, yeah, it's relatively easy, and you can immediately arrest your movement by clicking in both thumbsticks. Did that connect? No. There we go. Need to give them a few more whaps, apparently. Yeah, I think the time limit's not such a big deal, to be honest. I mean, you can do multiple shifts, like as many shifts as you want on a single craft, but it's a case of, well, at what point does it, like, do you want to be super completionist about it, or do you at some point go, right, okay, there's not enough value left to actually make it worthwhile to do another shift. But that will change over time. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any particular downside to, like, you can just take another ship without penalty. Obviously, you don't get whatever remaining salvage value there might have been, but it doesn't really seem to matter. So this is inside. There doesn't seem to be, like, there's no reason why we have these... oh, that's a thing. What? Data drive. Oh yeah, there's certain collectible things, and sometimes you'll find supplies inside, which saves you having to go back for them. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so there doesn't seem to be, like, we don't know if these are ships that have been retired or repossessed, or I don't know. Maybe they'll flesh that out a bit in future, but for now it's just, here's some ships, take them apart, and you don't really know why you're taking them apart. So this is all pressurized. If you were to cut through the hull here, it would basically blow out and rather knack at everything. But if I do that, I haven't quite figured out the trick of this, actually. Yeah,
Air pressure level decreasing.
Because you got these separate compartments. If you depressurize one... Did I take some damage there? I think I took some suit damage there, actually. Yeah, I don't know why I'm breathing hard there, unless it's just I'm a little bit injured. But yeah, when you depressurize, it automatically shuts the door, and there doesn't seem to be any way of making the door stay open. Anyway, I've got about a minute and a half left of oxygen, but... Oh, yeah, that's what the shoulder buttons do, is you can kind of pull yourself along a wall, which is kind of handy in short spaces. Yeah, it's a bit... It starts shouting at you about the oxygen way before you actually need to head back, so I'm not purposely ignoring that or anything, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen other people complaining about that and depressurization. So yeah, you got Bannerlord. Yeah, Bannerlord's good. I'm sort of, I haven't fired it up in a bit because I'm just waiting for some more substantial updates. But let's go ahead and grab that.
Oxygen level
So yeah, and I saw Satisfactory being updated as well. But Satisfactory and also just Factorio, that kind of game generally, would probably be very dangerous for me in terms of time spent. So let's see. So there's that's fuel canister behind the wall there. I've got to watch out for those if we cut into the wall. And the fuel cell will be along here somewhere. Can we actually see where the fuel cell is? Because there's fuel cells and coolant cells, and one of those is going to be fuel and one of those is going to be coolant, I think. But we have to cut behind the walls first. Anyway, I'm definitely not doing this as efficiently as I could be, but you know, I'm sitting here blathering about what I'm doing. So where's the actual... Okay. Oh, there's the reactor. So we're going to pull that out first. I've wasted so much time just talking and explaining. We're down to only about 5 minutes of this shift already. So I'm going to burn away these very easily accessible structural points. And that's already just drifting down. They do seem to be very... oh, also, Evil Tim, thank you very much. And also, Ralak, I missed your sub as well. Sorry about that, I'm just too busy blathering. What was I saying?
Alright, Cutter, you got
I don't know, I was saying something there and I've forgotten.
before they turn the lights out on you.
Oh, also, no, that doesn't need to be that doesn't need to be a tether, that's how you tether things. Yeah, I was saying something there. Somebody remind me what I was saying. Too busy blathering. As long as we get the reactor, I think that will make this this day at least a break-even day. And the nacelles are quite valuable as well. One thing that has confused me is that the nacelles and there's a separate thruster in the back, and I don't know what relation they have to each other. Is like one supposed to be like a faster than light engine and the other's a sublight engine, or what? I don't know. But there seems to be two separate engine types, and it's not entirely clear why. Because if you pull this back plate off here, it's like a whole little assembly thing that you can yoink out. Which, you know, I might as well do that so I can show it. Also, is that already... That's not actually capped, which sometimes it is. Yeah, that's Factorio really, like, it's bad enough with stuff like Transport Tycoon or OpenTDD. It's the one I've played most, obviously, in recent times, but I still have my original Transport Tycoon disc somewhere. But yeah, setting up systems, and then you get into optimizing, and then just you want to sit back and watch all the things, and it's very dangerous. Massive time sink. As other people have pointed out, and I certainly won't be the first to point out, but it's funny, you've got to pull out these things, and you can damage or even break them. Oh, if you're too rough with them about bashing them against things, but then you can pull out these extremely delicate things and then whack them at high speed into the salvage barge. Anyway, so that's the Thruster Class 1. And, oh, where are we for time? 2.5 minutes, so we can get some of these rear panels down and out the way. There's all these little things you can pull off, like all the light fittings individually you can pull off, but they're not worth it. And there's, you know, sometimes you'll have of the things you've seen me, you know, the hoppers you've seen me tossing things into. Basically, one's for aluminium and glass. Those all go in the furnace. Everything else pretty much goes in the processor hopper, but sometimes you'll get panels that are sort of mixed materials, as it were, and you just I surely have done that. I'm trying to push this down a bit. No, that's not budging. Why is that not budging? Should be disconnected.
Your business is appreciated.
Back to the kiosk on the starting platform to fill up your O2.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Trust me on this.
Got
Weave around.
slightly less time left in the shift than we do oxygen, so that's fine. Right. Yeah, it really does try and panic you about oxygen way more than it needs to, but I suppose it's better than the opposite. So every ship, or every vessel you get comes with a work order. That's basically the stuff that you need to do in order to sort of fulfill the contract for that ship, as it were. But you can choose to do more, as I've said. I think there's possibly a penalty I mean, it would make sense if there was a penalty if you dump a ship, take a new ship without actually completing the work order. I imagine there's a penalty for that. Right. I don't know if there's actually enough time for me to whack that stuff in at this point, but it's just going to hover there until my next shift anyway. Yeah, you can upgrade your oxygen supply. There's like a thing that lets you like osmose oxygen from pressurized compartments. So for instance, you could leave a at least at the start you could have a pressurized compartment that would you would just get extra oxygen from. Apparently somehow I destroyed a bottle and a food pack, but they're not worth a lot. So that was $1 million. That's enough to service my debt, basically. 100 bits. Thank you very much, Relach. Oh, you don't get the links tokens. Okay. Yeah, there's the second currency, the links tokens. That's how you do upgrades and stuff. And I might get to show you that just now, actually. That'll be enough. So yeah, half of that just disappears into your debt. But actually, of everything that you pay, the interest on your loan is about 100,000, but the cutter rental is 120,000. The grapple rental is 90,000. The suit, helmet, scanner, all that together, they've got to be close to another 100,000. So, yeah, you can significantly reduce that outgoing daily amount. Hey, Hildebrand. So it is definitely like this is obviously far from the finished product, but what's here already is a playable game, which is always an important consideration when you're looking at these early access titles, and it seems to have a lot of scope for improvement. So let's take a look. We can actually repair that. We've picked up. Do we want to? Well, 81%. That doesn't seem that bad. I don't think we can upgrade. We can upgrade some stuff. Okay, on the suit. You can hear in space somehow. There's a thing that lets you, which is actually kind of useful. Like you can hear stuff gurgling in pipes, or audio warnings, even if you're in a vacuum. Somehow through magic. Right, I don't think there's anything. No, I already upgraded O2 for the helmet. I can upgrade my scanner. Thrusters, we can upgrade fuel amount, which doesn't seem like a terribly high priority. We can upgrade the speed. We can upgrade grapple range, grapple strength. That could be very useful. We can get more tethers. I have to apologise if I had to, like, my other Xbox controller died. Like the wiring leading into it was suddenly getting very hot, which obviously means it's a bit broken if it's suddenly producing heat through resistance. So I had to chuck that in, and I dug out an old one, but I think this is why I stopped using this old one and replaced it, because the thumbsticks are not terribly great. Right, an extra range upgrade on the cutter might actually be very useful. Upgrading the split saw makes it feel a bit too destructive. Okay, we'll have to see about that when we come to it. Yeah, let's upgrade the range on the cutter. That seems like it would be useful. See you, Shiva. I'm going to put this all up on YouTube so you can watch later. So yeah, I haven't filled the work order at the moment. I could just take a new ship, but obviously that would be a bit ridiculous when there's so much of this one left on the table. So it's pretty much as we left it. You start with your O2 replenished, but you don't have your thruster fuel replenished, it seems like. And I've noticed some things with the movement as well. Like you have momentum, but only in terms of forward, backwards, left, right. If you roll, that seems to auto-correct itself, although it does carry on a little bit, but you can't just keep rolling forever, so it's only your sort of cardinal directions that you have momentum to play about with. Interestingly, objects themselves, even if I grab them with the grapple, it's not quite realistic physics. They'll move a little bit, but they won't necessarily keep moving. They'll move a little bit and then stop, which doesn't particularly make sense because there's nothing there to stop it and it's space. But you know, it's a game, I suppose. They've not gone with exactly totally realistic physics, let's put it that way. So let's just whack those panels over into there. And that'll go towards my nanocarbon salvage thingy.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
The furnace and processor have kind of like a weak tractor field in front of them, and you just have to push them far enough. But sometimes, I've not had this yet myself, but I've watched videos where people have had things sucked into the wrong hopper. Or else they've managed to accidentally get themselves sucked into the hopper. Right, so that is a cargo storage crate. We can pull that off the wall. Send that whacking down there. I think you have to not bang things into each other on the actual crate, on the barge rail. I think that's bad. I think you can destroy objects that way. Oop. So that rear section is now just empty, and that whole thing goes in the processor. But I'll disconnect it now. I'm going to leave it until we get most of the rest of the ship out of the way before we try and push that round. Yeah, you can't completely obliterate the aluminium inner panels with the cutter, but they're worth stuff, so it's worth not doing that. So we have to get inside, and we could do that with this panel here, but we're not going to be able to on the same side here because the airlock is in the way. You'll see there's a lot of wasted space in these ships. I mean, from a video game point of view, it sort of makes sense to leave the player enough room to wiggle around inside, but yeah, from an actual design point of view, you'd think they'd be chock full of wiring and pipes and things, but I don't know. They've not made you deal with that. So this is the beam cutter, which, as you can see, does this. Makes quite a satisfying sound. That's on. I will just continuously hit the wrong buttons, so you'll just have to bear with me. I do this even with games I play a lot. I just somehow manage to hit all the wrong buttons a lot. So let's pull this big chunk of aluminium paneling out the way. Yeah, I've seen people. I mean, Jingles did a video on this, and I think he managed to blow something up. But I'd seen somebody else's video first, and then Jingles did a video. Oh, right, that is actually... Ooh, don't bash that around too much. I think that's the fuel cell. It's a good thing I didn't cut through that. Not the fuel cell, the energy cell. There we go, so we pull that off. If you try and pull out electrical stuff without disconnecting that first, you get yourself electrocuted, essentially. So, all those little light things on there, you can pull them off individually. It's totally not worth your time doing so. So, yeah, that just all goes in the furnace, basically. And you will lose a few credits by not being ultra efficient at pulling off every single light fitting. But some things are just too low value to be worth faffing around with. Anyway, so I found the fuel cell first try, which is handy. There's also some coolant tanks in there as well, so I can gently dislodge that. There's no controls to rotate things while you have them grabbed, so you just have to like grab a bit, tug it a little bit, and then grab on a different spot. And hope that you don't bash things hard enough to break them.
Credits deposited.
Right, so having done that, what should we do next? Let's pull off the top panels. Oh, I keep wanting to use the shoulder buttons. I need to tell my character to the object you tow. Oh, tow as in... Oh, I see. Okay. TOW. I took a moment to figure out what you okay. Yeah, I'm still kind of learning the controls a little.
Oxygen reserves are low.
Sometimes...
Asphyxiation can lead to missed salvage quotas.
Yeah, they don't really sort of try and hide that this isn't exactly a capitalist utopia by any means. I don't know if there's such a thing as a capitalist utopia, to be honest. Also, Mr. J, thank you very much for the 30 months. Right, about a minute of oxygen left. Now you can use tethers to try and... Well, it actually shows you in the intro video. You can use tethers to chain things together, but you don't really need to do that for the most part. So, whoop. These are all
Oxygen reserves are critical.
furnace objects. Oh, I've got the wrong thing. I suppose I'd really better go and get some oxygen. I've managed not to die yet, but, you know, there's always a first time. Sometimes I get a bit confused about the construction of these ships. Like, some of them... A lot of the external stuff seems to be nanocarbon, but for some reason you'll have sometimes external panels being aluminium instead, so I don't know. It does seem to be a little bit random. Right, activate terminal. It's fine, I'm not worried.
Level stabilizing.
I think I used the only oxygen bottle that was inside, but there is a fuel bottle, so I can grab that. Also, I think the thruster upgrade might be a good one to have next. So yeah, stuff like that seems particularly... I don't know. Like, I guess that's part of the randomization. Like, some parts are always one material. Some parts are always another, but sometimes... I don't know. Right, that's nanocarbon, apparently, so that should go... there. So that first panel was aluminium, and for some reason this one's nanocarbon. Whoop. Oh, wrong button. I quite like the soundtrack, by the way. This is all in-game music you're hearing.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Oh, there was an O2 bottle here that I could have... Never mind. Rushed all the way back for nothing. I'm also going to grab a fuel bottle just now because that is getting a bit low.
Fuel levels restored.
Right, also, does that... Given that my suit's got 2 red marks, is that going to, like, repair? No, not entirely sure what that did. Right, repair kit, I guess I just... goes in my inventory. Some things you use right away and some things go in your inventory. Right, cargo hatch. That's a thing that gets pulled off for the barge, I think. We're almost done with the work order as well.
About 5 minutes left in this shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
I kind of wish objects did keep their momentum. It would just make a lot more sense considering that you yourself keep momentum, so I don't know. Maybe they'll give different sort of difficulty gameplay options later on down the line. That would be nice. Right, so what else? We've got a bunch of stuff in the cockpit. There's a soft crate in there. Oh, actually, there's a... Whoop! Still getting, still getting the motion controls down a bit. So we can pull some stuff out here. We might also have enough time to cut the glass out of the cockpit, which is itself actually a reasonably valuable material, but I suppose it's not just your regular old glass. It's probably like Gorilla Glass or something.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Right, we took off the... electro doodad, so it's now safe to do those.
Salvage secured.
I'm not sure why the music changes sometimes. I mean, it's sort of dynamic. So we can do things like yank off all the
Salvage deposit accepted.
door
Credits
panels, atmo regulator.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
There's certain bits, like some things they might change, like trying to do, where is it? I was looking right at it. The airlock sections are unnecessarily fiddly and complicated, as such that it's basically not worth your time trying to pull out the separate materials. And the cockpit areas are kind of mixed as well, again to an extent where it's probably better just to chuck the whole thing and eat the loss rather than waste the time trying to pull out the interior aluminium paneling, because the outside is all the nanocarbon stuff and the inside that you see there is all aluminium. It's several hundred kilograms of it as well, but it just takes such a long time to take it all out. Oh, have I kicked that towards the... Never mind. Bye bye storage bin. That just went off into... That's fine, that'll just go off and cause Kessler syndrome, probably. It'd be funny if they charged you extra for that because someone has to go out and actually nab it before it causes difficulty. Also, hey Joachim. Right, let's blap this a little more carefully this time. Apparently these storage bins are worth doing.
Secured. Account credit applied.
Which, I don't know, it sort of makes sense. Like, it's the kind of thing that it wouldn't be that difficult to refurbish and stick in a new ship, necessarily. Where are we? Minute left.
Deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Oh, stop. Just pull out the rest of the cockpit
All right,
fittings.
Cutter. Wrap it up. You got about a minute left.
I'll have to remember that there's
Salvage secured.
oxygen here I can use for next time. I suppose, well, yeah, it depends how much velocity you give it. Like, it could fall back to Earth's atmosphere.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
It also depends how high up you are. 30 seconds, that should be enough for the last console. Or is there two more consoles? I think there's two more consoles, actually.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
But yeah, it's clearly been a lot of thought gone into it, and considering this is an early access game, it is quite impressive in a lot of ways.
Your oxygen reserves are low. Note that excess carbon dioxide...
Right, 4 seconds left, so that's that for that shift. It's a giant Kessler... Oh, I see, okay, so that was less, 710, but still enough to service my debt for the day. I don't think we have enough tokens for anything. We can... Right, that's... I actually want to look at... I don't know... Go away! Game, why have you got this Okay, that's an early access bug, I guess. We can't get the fees thing to go away. I was going to look at my certification screen, which shows me how far I am up to the next rank. But yeah, there's a certain amount of things I need to do, and then I need to make a certain amount of credits total. So I think I've done about 2 million of 5 million so far. Let's actually start with cutting the glass away. Which can actually be one of the more finicky things, but it's worth doing. Whoop. Trying to line it up so I don't leave too much behind. The glass does seem weirdly clouded, like it's, I guess, to make it more obvious that that's where the glass is, but it also seems like it would be a bit of a safety hazard in terms of actually seeing out of. I don't know. Whoop. Right, is that done the trick? Yeah, this is what I mean when I say the glass can be weirdly finicky. Finickity's a word, by the way. It's totally a word, so just go with it. Right, so we're going to have to do another cut down at the bottom there, I think. Is that where it's getting stuck on? There it is. Okay. So yeah, that one chunk of glass is worth... I can't even remember how much it's worth, but it's worth a bit. Blop that in there.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Around 90k. Yeah, I remember it being worthwhile. Alright, so we're going to want to start taking off side paneling and interior paneling. I guess we'll take off the sides first. We'll do the non-airlock side because that'll be easiest and quickest. Oh! Oh yeah, I've got to actually point at something that can cut. There we go. So yeah, you can do, with the beam cutter, you can do multiple of the cut points, and it's quicker, but you can also accidentally cut things you don't want to cut. So that's why you use the precision beam head. Whoop. Stabilize myself a bit with my hand. So yeah, there's something, I don't know, there's something kind of relaxing about it. You know, it's sort of in the same category as something like Euro Truck Sim, I guess. It's not necessarily huge and endless amounts of varied gameplay, but it's, you know, there's enough going on in terms of upgrades and enough sort of going on in terms of questing for efficiency, I suppose. But it's quite fun. I'm trying to nudge this away, but I don't know if I've got enough thruster power, actually. I might just have to tether things into where they need to go. Yeah, they're all disconnected. Right. So there's the fuel canister at the back I need to worry about. This is all processor stuff, isn't it? Yeah. So there we go, we're just going to start hoiking things into the processor. Nope. So if I use the right button.
Valuable object processed.
Oh, well, that's wasted a tether. Okay. Because I wanted to stick my thumb up. So that's the work order done. So I could basically leave this ship after this.
Supplies are low.
this shift, but it depends if I want to or not. Let's try and gently disengage the fuel canister, which can explode if treated a bit too roughly.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Oh, that wasn't the thumbs then. Clearly it didn't want to snag
Your
on.
business is appreciated.
3 tethers left. We're going to need more tethers. So there we go. That's freed. So this paneling is all aluminium, and then you put these little structural blocks of titanium, and you could spend the time to extract those individually, but it's really not worth it.
Valuable object processed.
I think the frame, I did this way last time, the frame is all furnace stuff, isn't it? So you've got these interior nanocarbon bits, and then that's all furnace stuff. So basically what I want to do is strip away everything, and then I can just chuck this whole remaining thing into the furnace. Let's grab that O2. That's fine. And then get disconnecting the other side, which I think we should be able to get into that crawl space now. Just maybe. Oh, the fuel's actually attached to the rear plate. Hey, Tabarikos! Do seem to be bringing in a few new viewers today playing this. I guess there's some interest in this game. And that might cut into the... No, it won't. You can, and I did do this on the tutorial mackerel. Like the surround of the airlock is all aluminium, so yeah, you can, but it just takes so long. You could spend half of a shift, in fact most of a shift, just doing that. Oh. And again, I keep wanting to use the shoulder buttons. Right, that is going to be a little awkward trying to extract that, so let's get these sides off first. I might need more tethers. Is there enough time to get more tethers? Oh yeah, there's loads of time. You got the Odin. Did you manage to grind it out fully? I don't even... Well, I suppose if you'd bought some of the directives, you could have done it by this point. Yeah, I think that's one thing they could do is simplify the airlock. Well, I don't know if that's intentional that they made the airlock so ridiculously fiddly. But yeah, it's basically not worth the time. Well, that's not unimpressive, Tabarikos, although these directors are obviously a little more sane than what they tried to get everyone to do with the Puerto Rico. Right, I'll have to... Oh, yeah, that's fine. Of course, that's attached to the inner part, isn't it? So that's fine. Oh. Oh, I hope I didn't smash that into something. No, I didn't. Good.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
What is that? Oh no, that's the airlock segment. Yeah, that's got 50 bazillion components to...
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Oh no, we don't want that. I wanted it to open. So
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
I think there's a panel in there I can grab. Oh no, Button. Oh, I wasted a tether on it anyway, so good job. Good job, me. Okay, yeah, the starter pack does give you a... I think I did that as well. Even though they gave me the Odin, I was like, okay, I'll get the starter pack thing, see how feasible it is to actually go through the directives.
Cutter, there's 5 minutes remaining.
Right, so...
Get in while the getting's good.
even just getting this off the frame is going to be a pain in the arse. Right. See if I can remember how one does this. Ooh. Although we'll first off pull these out so they're free floating. So we might as well plug that in. I've got no idea how this would be controlling it with keyboard and mouse, but certainly with a controller it feels relatively good. Should he yoink that away nice and cleanly? Three minutes of oxygen left, so we will need to get more oxygen before the end of this shift. Question is there going to be enough here to be worth doing another shift?
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
Because it's basically just going to be the frame and the cockpit. Right, and I should be able to now pull
Salvage
that
secured.
around, and
Credits
hopefully it
deposited.
won't get sucked into the furnace. I wonder if there's enough time to try and disconnect this. Okay, you found that. You found that quite well controllable then, Hilty. Good to know. Right, is this sufficiently disconnected? It's really hard to tell. Right, we're gonna have to go and get oxygen. We might as well do it now.
Object accepted for processing.
Otherwise, I will asphyxiate. I think the next upgrade will be the thruster upgrade, because even just being able to get back and forth to the console quicker will be a time reduction.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000. Have a nice
So, yeah, slight waste, but they don't cost that much. Right, 2 minutes. Maybe I'd just decouple the cockpit and pitch the rest into the furnace, honestly. That's not actually bother trying to decouple the tremendous pain in the arse that is the airlock. Right. Is that the airlock now free? Let's try a grapple. No. Oh, yeah, there we go. So you can spend time cutting out the interior aluminium paneling, but
deep and let's finish
it's kind of not worth it. So in the interests of just time, let's just pitch the last bit in. All in one go. It's mostly furnace stuff. Some of it isn't. So you kind of lose out, basically. But
No tethers remaining.
right, I used all my tethers. Hopefully that's enough. Come on, 40 seconds. Pick up, is that? Do I just grab that?
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
20 seconds, come on. If it doesn't get it, I'm not doing another shift just to get this to go in. I don't even have any more tethers I can use to... No. It's not going to go in, but never mind. We're not going to do another shift just for that. Oh well. So 1.2 million credits that time. There was a bit left on the table, but not a huge amount. Completed the work order. So yeah, we'll do another ship. Okay, continue. Yeah, this is definitely a bug. Right, I'm going to quit back to the main menu and see if that works out, because I actually want to look at maybe doing... Do I have enough for an equipment upgrade? 150, I might do. Or is it 250? Most of them are. No, I'm feeling some of them are 150. Thrusters. Yeah, there we go, 150. Top speed. So, thruster upgrade. And that's probably worth repairing. I don't know what the danger point is for having to repair stuff. Right, so what have we got? 4 point... Those two are worth about the same. For some reason, though, that one reckons it's roughly a 2-day job, and this one reckons it's roughly a 1-day job. Even though they seem fairly identical. So I think these are passenger variants, and that one's a cargo variant. So I guess we'll go with the one that's just worth slightly more, because why not? Yeah, maybe the repair stuff is kind of a thing to be added. I don't know. See you, AGC. Aguk.
Alright, Cutter. This here's another macro. Just a little history lesson for you. The entire macro class was decommissioned once they juiced the force of the rail gates. Link scooped up thousands of them on the cheap.
Ah, that's why you're doing all of these then.
Each ship before moving on to the next. We call it using the whole buffalo. You want to pay off that mountain of debt you're carrying on your back. That's how it's done.
Oh, tethers have automatically replenished. That's good. Also, I didn't get that, did I? So that's why there's all these mackerels that they're pulling apart for scrap. Because they bought a job lot of them, essentially. That makes sense. Well, let's remember to give it a good few whacks this time, so... Oh! So it doesn't stop halfway down and I'll have to chasing after it to do it all over again.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
One of the things that maybe does take a bit of getting used to is that what controls you need to move in a given direction change depending on your orientation. So that's definitely a little bit trippy, but you know, that's a challenge of moving around in a fully 3D environment, I suppose. Ooh. And again, thinking, surely it's the shoulder buttons to roll. I've played too many plain flying games where it's the shoulder buttons, clearly. Nope. Don't quite have in my head how long that takes, clearly. Nope. It's fine.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits
Need to bump my head. Right. Just being able to click the thumbsticks in and come to a dead stop is probably the most useful single control in the game. Right, so that's the exterior stuff taken care of.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Well, time to Tabarikos, time to break out the premiums, I suppose. Stack on the flags and camos.
Levels increasing.
Right, what have we got? Sealed rear compartment, I guess, because this was a passenger one. Oh, we've got 102 bottle, 1 fuel bottle. Med kits, repair kits. Do you use them, or no? Repair kits, okay. Repair kits and utility keys you pick up. Med kits you use. Right, there's a second O2 bottle there. Cargo crate there.
Your business is appreciated.
Right. If I run this, will that automatically close that door there? Yes, it does.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Oh, but then it opened again. I don't quite understand the behaviour with the airlocks and the depressurisation. It's a little, I don't know. I'm sure there's some actual logic to it that I'm just not quite understanding. Right, grapple. Can we just yank this door off? Yes, we can. Why use door handle like a civilized person? So, reactor in the usual place. I'll just... This just seemed to be by far the easiest thing. It's just cut through here and drop the reactor through the floor. Well, that's what I did last time, is depressurize the cockpit, open the door, everything came whooshing through. Right, so this is a nanocarbon panel. Let's have a look at what our... So, usual sort of... I don't think there's anything particularly different about that work order. Oh, wrong tool. Okay, always the one above the airlock rather than the cockpit one. Okay. A lot of it does just seem to be getting to know the individual ships and figuring out their eccentricities and variations.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Right, so that's the dangerous bit out the way. I think we'll just do what we did last time. We'll take the floor down. In fact, we'll take this section down and we can pull out the seating. Where's the seating? No, I think the seating's attached to the wall rather than the floor, isn't it? So that's fine. Oh. Who put that door there? Don't approve. Also, the clipping does look a bit odd sometimes, like you'll have your laser going through a light fitting, it looks like, but it's fine, really. Right, both these panels should be... Did I? Oh, I accidentally fried that food bag thing. Yeah, you can set things on fire. Like the soft crates and whatever. It's entirely possible.
Warning. Oxygen.
Yada
reserves
yada
are
yada,
low.
I know there's an oxygen bottle here, so it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. You don't need to panic. It probably helps that, you know, having played KSP, I have some idea. Although, you know, how to move a thing around in space, but of course, I don't use a controller for playing KSP, so I suppose it's a bit different. Right, that's a processor item. Let's grab an O2 bottle.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Get this door out the way.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
I was actually, because it tells you when you're using the thrusters in the suit, it actually tells you, you know, your delta V in meters per second. Well, it tells you your velocity in meters per second. And, you know, I was wondering exactly how much delta V you have in the suit compared to KSP. Probably not nearly as much. The spacesuits have a ridiculous amount of, like 500 meters a second or something in KSP. Somehow. Kerbal magic. That's going to be... yeah, chuck it in the furnace.
Salvage secured. Account
Which I think you have to do anyway with any like food things or bottles of soda that are just flying around that messy people have left in their ships. It all goes in the furnace, I believe.
salvage secured.
You can't take it back with you to chug in your habitat. Goodness knows what space would do to
Salvage secured.
a bag of crisps.
Credit applied.
Cutter, you got 5 minutes left in this shift. Knock out that
Right,
work order before we turn the lights
actually,
out.
let's just keep doing barge items, I suppose. Pull off panels and keep stripping everything down. I probably should have... okay. Too late now. Oh! I just realised I pulled this off the wall before I could have electrocuted myself there. I hadn't actually
Salvage deposit accepted.
uncoupled the fuel, the power cell yet, so... junction... like, these things seem fine, but the junction boxes and the computer consoles, if you yank them out, you can electrocute yourself, so... yeah, that was a
Salvage
little bit...
secured.
oh,
Credits deposited.
a little bit foolish. Yeah, but I think the difference is they always give a spark, but it's the difference between just a spark and actually killing you, potentially.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Whereas the other electrical items, aside from the computer consoles, seem to be fine.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
The sound design is quite good. Like, these all sound like actual proper, you know, they don't seem like placeholder sounds.
Salvage secured.
Like, compared to the other early access game that I've played any particular amount of recently, Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, like, that's still got a lot of very clearly placeholder stuff in terms of textures and sounds.
Salvage
Although sounds is not so bad. I think sounds probably a bit better polished now, but in terms of textures, certainly improved, but still not the most polished by a long shot.
salvage
I don't know if they'll like the textures in this game are. It's all relatively simple, blocky stuff. I don't think this is ever going to be super high res, beautiful and detailed. But it doesn't really need to be, given the nature of the game. 2 minutes. What can we do in 2 minutes? Take the thruster out.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
What do we want to... Let's just disconnect the entire rear section first. That then might give me a... you can just cut your way in with these side panels. But then you run the risk of hitting stuff that you don't want to hit necessarily.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are low.
Well, that's fine. We have about 4 seconds of oxygen between the shift end and the amount of oxygen I actually have left, so it's fine. It's 4 seconds, it's fine. 3 more seconds than I need.
Processing valuable objects.
Whoop!
Credit
I managed to punt myself off there. Not entirely sure how I managed that.
Dakota, we're getting down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shit.
Did that actually... Where did that go? Did I destroy that? Have I accidentally done a physics? I can't see it. Or is that it there?
Oxygen reserves are critical.
No, that's a...
Please contact your plan administrator.
Oh no, that is it. That's fine. Okay, it did connect. Right, 36 seconds. I've got 40 seconds of oxygen. It's fine. Yeah, I imagine I can do most of it in the next shift. That seems like reasonably good progress. Having decoupled the rear, I can then start pulling out the interior panels, the exterior panels rather. Is there any way to end a shift early? Is that an option? I just enter the happy... Oh, well, never mind. 1.6. Okay. Certification. So basically, 4 more items of, like, 4 more chairs, which I can't do on this one, so it'll be the next one. But in terms of credits, less than 500,000 credits left before I have another ship class available. So, yeah. Let's continue on with this one.
Warning. Fuel levels are low. Fuel supplies
Well, that's
are
true,
available
they
for
are,
purchase in
but
the
there's
master
still fuel
jack.
canisters inside, so that's fine. Snap one of those.
Fuel levels restored.
Right, the back panel... Yeah, there we go, that's disconnected. Whoop. Is that not done what I want? No, apparently not. Nope, that's because I'm using the wrong bloody button. Well done, brain. You need the dotted line. There we go. Oh, wait, I haven't disconnected the fuel canisters. That's a bit of a... It's fine. They come off nice and easy.
Salvage deposit accepted.
So that rear section's going in, so that now exposes the interior crawl spaces. I think the only thing I can possibly do anything bad with in here is the... Oh, I think if I accidentally breach the coolant thing, it's not going to blow anything up, but it does have this cloud of cold gas spewing around, which is not necessarily good for your health.
Valuable objects processed. Credits awarded.
Hey Cutlass, welcome to the stream. I think having watched other people play this in videos has probably helped tremendously. Because I actually have some idea what I'm doing. Like, the tutorial's good, but it doesn't necessarily tell you all of the useful things. Right, there's the power cell. Yeah, I've definitely, like, it definitely helps that I've seen other people making mistakes and know what to avoid. I was tempted just to purposefully blow up a ship to show people what happens. I don't know, we could always do that, that's still an option. But the starting ship... I don't know, I've seen what the next ship is like, so the starting ship gives you this false sense of like, oh okay, yeah, sure, this isn't too difficult. And then you get the next ship and it's like, well, shit. I spoke too soon. How do I untangle this? So it's quite a big step up in difficulty, I think. Right, click that into the processor. Airlock we're just going to leave, as per usual.
Caution.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Not sure what the caution warning was there. Possibly having put something in the wrong... I put something in the wrong hole, you guys! Maybe. There we go. Nice and relatively efficient.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
That sounds fun, Ginger Chef. That sounds like it produces quite a big boom. I mean, it's possible to... I've seen it... I've done it myself, but I've seen it where people have, like, damaged a thing. And it's still... Still part of it is salvageable, but obviously you've then lost a heck of a lot of value. Oh, did I not disconnect that front frame part fully? Apparently not. Nope. I did a whoopsie. I left a thing there, that's okay. Waste of a tether, but never mind. Oh, yeah, I need more tethers. Oh, Flammy's been playing this as well, has he? Right, we're getting a little low on O2, but I'm sure there's another bottle in there. Well, I don't know, maybe we'll just buy some while we're here to be on the safe side. I'm pretty sure there is another bottle of O2, but I don't have to waste time if I'm wrong going back, so that's fine. Right, we've not cut the glass out the front yet, actually. That's something we need to do. No, that was a I'll get it eventually. I will learn the difference eventually between tethers and, you know, it's fine.
Credits awarded.
Eventually. Someday. Just not today. Well, I hope that was a clear cut. Soon find out. Yeah, I don't think I cut at the bottom on this side. Nope. Nope. Could be tricky to see where it's still attached. Not at the top. Shouldn't be the bottom right anymore. Can actually see through the gap. It might just be the bottom part generally. Like, trying to use the cutter on the glass is probably one of the most finicky things. There we go. So yeah, the bottom hadn't cut through quite properly. Hey, little Mark. Scrapping spaceships. Whoop. Right. Oh, didn't go where I wanted to. You don't get full control when you're actually... Like, if you grapple onto something... It can be harder to actually control for some reason. Right, time-wise, 6 minutes. Right, the roof is nanocarbon. That needs to come off, and we need to decouple the cockpit, pull the stuff from the cockpit, the computer consoles. I think they're the last thing in there. Also, there was O2, so never mind. Hey, SMA. Oh, come here. No, come here. There we go. Yeah, it's canted at an odd angle now relative to the barge. That makes it slightly awkward.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Whoop.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Oh, and the cargo hatch needs to come off as well. Can we do all that in 5 minutes? Maybe. Whoop.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Alright, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this ship before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter. We wrap.
Right, so that's all the consoles, that's all the
Deposit
glass.
accepted. Credits transferred.
Right, let's decouple the front section. Nope. Wrong tool. You know, I might as well collect that oxygen bottle. Right, so the front section's now detached. And now we just do the same with the top panels. Oh, cut across the aluminium there, not that it matters. Oh, there's a soft crate I missed somehow. And a utility key.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Oh, Sargon's had, is he having technical difficulties? Right, these are all processor things, that's fine. Oh, up. So the thing does spin around a bit. Oh wait, this one doesn't have a cargo hatch, does it? Of course it doesn't. It's a passenger ship. Why would it have a cargo hatch?
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Right, so that whole front section we're going to pitch in there. And everything else goes in a furnace.
Tether supplies running low.
I think that's all good. Oh yeah, that's that bit of frame we snagged out the way.
Material deposited.
The tethers, I don't know if there's an upgrade for it, but the tethers only last for a certain amount of time, which I think particularly makes trying to stack them up trickier. And again, using the wrong button for the tethers. Come on, in you go. The airlock's a complete pain in the arse, Beaver. You can detach that airlock section and cut out the aluminium from inside, but it basically takes most of a work shift to do it, and it's absolutely not worth the time. Like, this is where objects keeping momentum would be super useful, but I think that's at a stage where it's getting sucked in. Which will then be everything.
Time is winding down, Cutter. Dig deep
Come on,
and let's
in you
finish
go.
strong.
So it will tell me off a little bit because some of that material is not stuff that's supposed to go in there. But the time it would take to pull that stuff off to go in the right place is just absolutely not worth it. Oh, also, random bottle. That's everything. Oh, the airlock panel. Oh, okay, never mind. Didn't I pull that off? Maybe I didn't. But that's a relatively minor value, so... if I go in, does it just, like, enter the... yeah, enter the shift. $1.2 million. So yeah, there's nearly a ton of nanocarbon and aluminium each that got wasted. In fact, over a ton of nanocarbon, but you can't quite get everything. How much is this? I think it's on sale at the moment. It's not super expensive. Right, 148, so not quite enough for another upgrade. But most of the certification for the next level is done, so we just need another passenger shuttle, I think. Continue salvage. There's nothing left to salvage. I don't know how I would... I don't know why it's leaving me that option. Maybe there's like another bottle that's just floating in there. Station hopper. So yeah, we want another station hopper rather than a cargo one. The value's a bit less important. 3.8, 3.8. Let's just take that one. That's just standard university fees in the future, Papsty, if you're American. That's your student loan debt. Anything different on the work order? Nope. Exactly the usual stuff. Reactor, power cell, nanocarbon metal. That also could be an option in Detail to Brandt. Space Nigerian princes.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Right, only 2 nacelles on this one. Oh.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Actually, I'm not entirely sure why I didn't push that first one down. That was a bit of a... Ooh. See, now I've got to float all the way over there to push it down. Total waste of, like, 5 seconds. And I say that, but actually, you know, 5 seconds might come in really useful at the end.
Account credit applied.
Right, so hopefully this one's got a bunch of seats. Not that we need that many more, but... seats are the last thing we need for the next level. Yeah, the ship's kind of like, apart from the huge amount of wasted space inside, they seem reasonably practical. And they're very chunky and industrial.
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Maybe I tried to take stock advice from Reddit, and that's how I ended up with this ridiculous level of debt. That, what's the infamous one? Wall Street Bets or something like that? I've never actually visited it, I just know of its existence. Anyway, this is more than enough seats. Okay. Let's depressurize this bad boy.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Okay, that just seems to do the trick, I guess. Just always use the one over the door first. And now we can open that.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
There we go, airlock open. There's something about just bags of space snacks that makes me wonder if this isn't actually in the Kerbal Space Program universe.
So be it. Jedi.
Jingles! Oh my, Jingles, you're a true Imperial then. How are you? Yeah, I've seen I've watched 1 or 2 of your Elite Dangerous videos. I've seen you've been getting into the whole engineering grind and all the rest of it.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Did I put that in the right one? I think I did, yeah. Right, tether. We want a tether, don't we?
Fuel levels are low.
Yeah. Pretty sure I saw a fuel canister in there. Okay.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
I did, didn't I? No, I did not see a fuel canister. We're going to have to go and get more fuel. How annoying. I should have checked that at the start of the shift, I guess. Well, you know, I've seen Star Trek, the first Star Trek film. What was it called? I can't remember. The one with Vija. You know, it's just, it's for the best, because we all know what happens if you don't. Right, we might as well buy oxygen while we're here. We don't actually need it, but...
Fuel levels restored.
Sure. God, what was the first Star Trek called? I should know this. Star Trek 1. Whatever you want to call it. Motion picture. Oh, TMP. Yes, there we go. I'm gonna have to turn in my nerd card for forgetting that. That was pretty bad. I'm gonna share a dirty little secret with you guys. Although I like Wrath of Khan very much, and Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country, the sixth one, the last one of the original crew, I rate them both very highly. My favourite Star Trek film might actually, and in fact I think it probably is fair to say it is, The Search for Spock. So yeah, that's a dirty nerd secret for you. It had some good stuff in it, don't judge me. Right, my stinger is down to 49% already, apparently. And also, it had some of my favourite, like, Kirk and Cruise. And Kirk stamping on Cruise's hands and going, "I have had enough of you!" That's a good moment. It's not quite Khan, but it's still pretty damn hammy. And, you know, it's all about friendship is magic, except it's Kirk and Spock rather than some ponies that can talk. It's basically the same. Right, apparently we've done metal already, nanocarbon, so that just leaves the power cell. And of course, the seats we need for the certification. Oh god, 5 is bad. I don't think 5 has many redeeming features.
Salvage deposit accepted.
It had one or two moments, I suppose, individual scenes, but as a whole, yeah, that was not a good film. Oh, 4. 4 is good. Why did I not even mention 4? 4, 2, and 6 are generally counted as the good ones, but 1 and 3 are actually quite good as well. 5 is the only true stinker. And even then, it's not completely out of place. Like, the story of 5 does feel like the kind of thing they might have had in Series 3 of the original series. And I'm very deliberately saying Series 3 there. That was the slightly more notorious one, where things got a bit less quality, shall we say.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Star Trek 4, Save the Whales. That's the official subtitle for that one, honest. But that did have some excellent lines in it. That was possibly one of the funniest ones.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
I don't know why I keep saying possibly. It was the funniest one. There's not really... There's some good moments in other ones, but that definitely had the most humour. Like, who doesn't love Spock nerve pinching the guy with the ghetto blaster on the bus? Where's that control panel gone? Did I yank it out? I guess I must have. Hey, Jack the Ripper. Me talking about nerdy shit? That's... I never do that. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would you think that was at all stereotypical of me? Oh.
Salvage secured. Account credit of 5.
Cutter, there's 5 minutes remaining in this shift. Get in while the getting's good. We wrap.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
That light fitting is in an awkward place. Right. Oh, well, there we go. I'm also going to have to waste time pulling that off, but never mind. Ah! Okay, this is one of those times where it'd be useful to be able to rotate stuff. Instead you have to go and Nudge it. Oh, meant to do that. It's possibly a little forceful. Come on, out you come. Those things are definitely among the more awkward objects
Credits transferred.
so far. I have to say,
Salvage secured.
I don't consider them to be particularly great Star Trek films, but if I switch off my inner angry screaming nerd, I even find the reboot Star Treks kind of okay. That might actually be worse to admit that than saying I like The Search for Spock the best. That might actually well be worth. How much variety? At the moment, I don't know, to be honest. I suspect more ship types will be added in future for each level that you're at, because I'm guessing at the moment that's one of the things. I need more oxygen. That's one of the things where we can say this is early access. They've put in enough content to make it playable, but I highly suspect this isn't all the ship types that there will ever be.
Welcome to Vintage Run.
Right, do we need anything else? No.
Oxygen level stabilizing.
If you think that's small, wait till you see the next one up that has a far, far smaller pilot window. To the point where you wonder, why do they even have a window in the front? Right, we're going to have to repair both of these. Tools, they're getting a bit smoky. There should be enough time to decouple the back. Preparation for next time. Well, the certificates things go up to, like, is it 7? I don't know if there's any ships that big yet, but
Valuable object
I've not gotten that far. I've only
deposited.
looked at people playing the first couple of hours. Oh, that's a bit of an awkward spin, but that should be fine. Right, hoik that
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits
in the
transferred.
processor section, and I think that's probably just about it. Oh, yeah. Keep forgetting the fuel tanks are attached to the back here, but it's not really an issue. You've got plenty of time to pull them off the back, so I think I like this way of doing it. That's definitely going to be a thing for each class of ship, is just figuring out the most efficient way.
Deposited.
Oh, that tether's died already. I don't know if more tethers gives extra pull.
Time to start wrapping things up.
Oh,
Weaver out.
getting in the way. My own piece of salvage.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Oh, okay, yeah, if I have a work order that's like electrical stuff, do the lamps count? Twice as long as the gecko, but half as tall. I don't even... How the heck does that work? See if we can at least figure out what side the... There we go, there's the fuel cell. That's going to be nice and easy for next time then. Alright, so that's a good start. We've pulled the back off. We'll just do the same that we did in the last one. Pull off the sides, finish the cockpit, do all the rest, and Bob's your uncle. There we go, rank 5. And that should be enough tokens, 1.7 million credits just from that. No wastage at all, which is nice. Able to get some upgrades. See you, Hildebrand. So there we are, we're on to level 5 now. And that's the next level of ships available, but obviously we'll finish this ship first. And we'll also, yeah, let's repair that. And that. And possibly do an upgrade. But I'll also get some water, because I've just run out. Ooh. So I'll be a second. So, guess who was going to make themselves a cup of tea earlier and then forgot about it and only just now discovered it sad, cold and alone on the worktop? It's not me, honest. It's some other person. Yeah. Let's go with that. Shipbreaker, yep, well, that's entirely possible. I used to play with, I don't know, like, way back when Jingles was a regular on Circon stream. Obviously played with him then, and he's featured various replays and things over the years as well, so, yeah. I don't think I'm as well known as Billy, though. Billy's very well known at this point. Right, extra fuel capacity... rotation, but also braking, so I can slow down faster. Could be useful. We did the grapple, not the laser cutter range. We don't really need an upgrade on the split saw range. Heat capacity, cooldown, that's not really an issue just now. Well, there we go, tether lifetime. That looks like the thing we want, because that's the thing that I was particularly noticing. Grapple strength would also be useful, but let's go for tether lifetime for now. And then we'll do grapple strength next time, I think. Yeah, well, Billy's off doing actual grown-up things, which is slightly weird to think about. Billy doing grown-up things. Let's continue on. Yeah, I think tether upgrades as well. Certainly one we want to look at doing. Right, actually, seeing as how we're here, let's do the glass. I mean, maybe that's why the glass seems so kind of opaque. Is, you know, they've been sat in storage for a really long time and no one's been cleaning them, so obviously that's the reason. Did that just cut the front, or did it cut the top? That just cut the front. It's a bit weird. Right, so that... yeah, that's not cut that right at all, but never mind. I suppose especially with the bigger ships, the more tethers without having to go back all the time would be quite handy. Right, again, we've not... what we caught on. We've not cut through. I think it's the bottom there, yeah. Oh. There we go. That does the trick. I keep mashing. I don't know. I'm just one of these people that randomly mashes controls until they get the right one. So turning on the suit lights on and off is on the D-pad, as is switching your tools. Right, so
Material deposited.
what first? Let's get the roof off. And again, just casually, you know, flicking lights off because reasons. This inner panel, I wonder how that comes off. If that'll just free itself when I've removed enough structural elements. Mind you, that's a furnace thing, so if we do what we did last time and chuck the whole lot in the furnace, that's not going to matter. Well, that's the top panels. See you, Elliot. And I just wasted a tether. Well done. It's like I'm playing Tekken. What Tekken did I play in the place? Tekken 3? God, I can't remember. Whatever Tekken game I had for the PlayStation, I was one of those people that just mashed buttons. Who needs to remember combos when you can just mash buttons? So clearly that's my strategy here as well. It's just mash buttons. Right, so that's the roof off, so now we take care of the side panels. Oh god, I'm not even... I've never played the Mortal Kombat games, but... Was it Jim Sterling did a... I don't know, he might have mentioned that, or somebody somewhere has mentioned that. I'm sure he's mentioned that specific thing. Because the idiocy of microtransactions in terms of how it's negatively influenced games is very much one of his pet things. Whoop. Right, so that's all those panels detached. Let's do the same on the other side. I don't know. I'm not really one for fighting games. Apart from literally Tekken 3. I think that's it. Oh. Well, we slice into the airlock, but it doesn't actually matter.
Warning. Fuel levels are low.
No, I'm trying to crawl forwards
Fuel
here.
supplies are available for purchase at the Master Jack.
Right, we will need some more suit fuel soon. And oxygen's getting a little bit low as well, so we'll do a run. Right, let's tether in some side panels. Nope, wrong button. Come on, brain, it's not that complicated. You can tether things to other things. You can create chains of tethers. But it seems a little... I don't know, you have to get the right spot, I guess. It seems a little finicky.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Oh, no, that's the rat bag.
Your oxygen reserves are low.
Right, that's going to get
Note
sucked
that
in anyway.
excess
Right, we need
carbon
tethers.
dioxide can cause damage to Link's equipment.
We need fuel and we need all the other things. We might as well tether in a bit. The last tether.
Warning. No tethers remaining.
Yeah, the trailer, the intro thing makes the chain tethering look really cool, and then as it turns out, there's not really a lot of call for it.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Right, so there's still a couple of things to grab in the cockpit. Time-wise, loads of time. It's fine. Pull the stuff off the sides. I think there's still some junction boxes in there as well.
Count credit applied.
This time I'm going to remember that door panel. Probably not worth that much, but if we're here we might as well grab it.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Right, so let's try not to electrocute myself. Pull off all the electrical... Oh, okay.
Electrical damage.
Ouch. I was a bit close there. Ow, ow, ow. Zapped myself again. So yeah, that can happen. And when it does, your radio station changes. Okay. Oh, it actually burned up that med kit. Never mind, I was going to grab that.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Right, is this going to happen again? So that just happens regardless of whether the power cell is... So you just have to make sure you're sufficient distance, I guess.
Salvage secured.
Okay.
Credit applied.
So even though you've disconnected the power system, I guess they're full of capacitors or something.
Salvage secured.
How are we doing time-wise? 5 minutes. Oh. That's oodles of time. It's literally just these and then hoiking off the front section into a processor. And then the rest goes in the furnace and we're done.
You got 5 minutes left in this shift. Knock out that work order before they turn the lights out on
Whoop.
you. We were out.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you can do that. You use one of the trigger buttons to pull it towards you. You don't actually have to go backwards, you can wheel it towards you. Right.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
So there we go, front section released.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
And I think that's it. Don't think there's anything else. Nope. Oh, the rest is all just photo stuff. Of course, it takes a while to get there. Is there any other debris? That's almost within the tractor. That's also within the tractor field, I think. Should be just about all of it. You going in? That's what held that along a little bit. Well, that's good to know, Admiral Affy. Don't smash yourself in the face with a spaceship. It's generally good life advice. So yeah, having watched videos has definitely helped me out. You can do the whole of a mackerel in 2 shifts easily. There's no difficulty there whatsoever. Right. No bits of debris, so we'll shift over. $1.2 million. There's not actually enough time left that you could start cutting away the airlock or cutting away the aluminium panels from the cockpit. Sadly. Right, so don't have enough for any upgrades or anything, so view ship catalogue. Are we still on mackerels? Oh, I thought we'd have new ship types. Apparently we're still on mackerels. Ship grade 3. I guess ship grade 4 is the bigger ones. Right. These are worth more though. 5 million, 5.6. So yeah, these are definitely worth more. Geckos start at 4. Right, that's good to know. Right, these are classed as being medium and hard, but for some reason the one with the highest value is a medium one, so we'll take that. I don't know why you wouldn't take the highest value one unless there was something specific like you needed shares. More cutting points. Okay, so it's just going to take longer. Oh yeah, these are the ones with the weird, useless outer cage bits, which are like on a spaceship, unless that's specifically meant as some kind of cargo mounting rack, that just seems like dead weight. Like, why would you have that?
Salvage secured. Account credit of 5.
So I think you can cut those free, but I don't know if there's any point to it. Oh, yeah, no, you have to do this from inside, don't you? I remember. Right, so these are all processor, but the things they're linked to are processor panels as well, so there's no point cutting those off separately, I don't think. Whoop. Hard mackerels have armor plates on those. Okay.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Right, work order. There's actually more stuff this time. Salvage electrical. Salvage mechanical. Is that going to be things like pipes?
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Right. Got med kits and a repair kit. We'll grab that. Whoop. Reactors in the usual place. Let's depressurize. I still don't quite entirely know what the data drives are for. That's just a thing you can't really use yet. Oh, was that credits?
Pressure level decreasing.
Press the button, it shows. Oh, okay, you can actually listen to them. Oh, I've been not doing that. Mind you, that's only the second one I've found, so... Right, let's do the usual thing then. Cut away the floor of the reactor bay. That's, I guess, always a good first order of business with these. That still seems to be only the usual 2 linkage points. Oh, they actually are worth links tokens. Okay. There she goes.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright, yeah, we'll just keep doing what I've been doing. Take the floor off first. Allows you to pull a bunch of stuff out easily. Oh, that's credits. I completely missed that. Credit drive. There we go. Herpaderp. I noticed eventually 100,000. Someone just left 100,000 lying around. Awfully careless of them. We're still connected. Or is it just being a bit recalcitrant? It's just being a bit recalcitrant, that's all. I mean, sometimes I suppose it's useful that items don't keep their motion. Because you'd have to spend more time grabbing stuff. That's probably why they did it, to be honest. Oh. It's entirely possible they tested it and decided people spent too much time having to run after stuff to make sure it went where they wanted it to go.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
I suppose that's true, but that's still like somebody leaving a £100 note around or something.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied. Salvage deposit
Let's
accepted.
all the seats
Credits
out the
transferred.
way.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted.
Something oddly, I don't know. I don't know if satisfying is the right word, but I mean, it is by its very definition a very repetitive game,
Account
and
credit
yet
applied.
somehow that's okay. Right, what next? Oh, still this row of seats. I'll do that.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Pull a bunch of the cockpit
deposit
stuff.
accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Space salt mines.
Credits transferred.
Right, O2's getting a little bit low. Fuel as well.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I think I'm definitely starting to get a hang of the controls a bit more, in like the movement controls specifically. Whoop. It's definitely a matter of just practice. I keep going backwards when and then remembering, oh wait, no, there's a thing that can specifically draw it towards me.
Secured.
Well
Account
done,
credit
brain.
applied.
Oh, right, oxygen. Should probably do that.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit
And then when I do inevitably die from asphyxiation, I can just go. I was just showing you guys what happens. Honest. It was purely a demonstration for your benefit. Wasn't me forgetting or anything.
Level stabilizing.
And you'd all believe me, right? You'd totally all believe me. Because I'm just that trustworthy. Oh, yeah, I guess you could. You could just go, whoop, pull yourself in. Yeah, it does. It pulls you towards it. Right, we're going to have to... What are we going to have to do? Let's like that out. Let's do the rear. Let's do the rear.
object processed. Credits deposited.
Right, these ones we do have to burn away. That's why I was temporarily confused before. Because I remember watching videos of people having to burn these things away.
We've got about 5 minutes left in this shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Processing valuable object.
Oh, wait, this needs to be... Is there a disconnection doohickey? Yes, there is. Before I can... Whoop. Here we go. Nope, other way. Right, let's get the back disconnected.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
There's just enough acceleration with the movement controls that it can be a little... If I can pull that switch off. It can be a little tricky being precise. Right, apparently that doesn't detach. Is there enough time to... Yeah, there's enough time to try and tether this in, maybe. Although actually the nacelles are in the way. That's going to be a bit of a pain, isn't it? Well, let's try it anyway. It should now be detached. Should? I want to say yes, but maybe no. Okay, maybe we can't. Maybe we have to cut in. Oh, the fuel tanks keep it attached. Oh. Okay. Right, there's the fuel tank. So if we cut in... about here then. So we're not going to get the back pulled off in this shift. We can at least give ourselves access. Yep, exact same on that side. Oh. Oh. Well, it's fine, that works. That's all. Whoop. Furnace stuff. Oh! Apparently I ooh, managed to accelerate myself away there. Was not my intent. Which side was that panel? Oh, that side. Okay. That seems like a very sound construction thing, you know, structural fuel tanks.
Down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shift.
That definitely seems like sound construction practice, but what do I know? About a minute left, that's fine.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Right, oh I see, there's actual... Oh yeah, of course. Oh. So we need to pull those out first, I guess, before we can detach the rear. Let's make sure those are both flushed. Then. Right, so we know what we're doing next time then. We're pulling those tanks out, pulling off the rear, and starting to disconnect the sides. $1.3 million. 65 tokens, so let's see if we can't do an upgrade. Heat capacity, I was going to do something with the tether, wasn't I? Strength 2. Range, oh no, that's range 1. Plus 500 kilograms, so we can actually move larger objects with the tether. So let's do that. And I think we're good for repairs for another shift. So continue. We can also check actually, while we with certification. Work order objectives, another reactor, another thruster, and this time 13.5 million credits. Okay, we're not doing that tonight then. We're definitely not doing that tonight. So as is traditional, apparently, let's do the glass at the start of the second shift. I don't know why that's now traditional, it just is. It's the top and bottom cut points that usually seem to give the most issue. Did we get that at the bottom? Yes, we did. Guess you just have to make sure you're correctly parallel. Whoop! Accelerated a little too fast there. Having previously said, oh yeah, no, I've got the hang of the controls now. I mean, that's mostly true. Whoop. There we go.
Deposit accepted.
So I guess we can cycle that. Presumably that's pressurized at the moment. If we accidentally cut into that,
Pressure levels dropping.
we would not want that. So yeah, let's make sure we're fully depressurized. Right, so the door things count as mechanical rather than electrical salvage. So if I yank that one off, that will fulfill that part of the work order. And kind of learned our lesson with these. Apparently the electrical systems, like, a lot of the stuff seems okay, but the electrical systems particularly seem to be never in good shape. Right, there's still the computer equipment in there, but we were going to grab ourselves some fuel tanks. Well, hopefully we can get the rear off. Whoop. Here we go. Right, is that...
Credits deposited.
Do I need to yank these off? Possibly this is entirely unnecessary, but... might as well do the nacelles while we're here as well. Right, yes, we have separation. Okay. So we can now tether that back section. But we'll get the cells down. Oh, out the way first. I think I might have just wasted another tether. It's fine. Wonder if I can manage this in 2 shifts as well. Probably not, based on how far we've gotten so far.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Well, that should slide off the back there. Yeah, this might be 3 shifts, but I guess we'll see. Right, that's a... oh. Some fuel pipe bits of processor, apparently. These little junction boxes.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Also, you can... oh, it shows my... okay. You can see what my Steam friends are playing. Yeah, I've been playing that as well, actually, Ace Combat. That's what I was going to play on Thursday, and then thunderstorms happened. So that didn't happen. Thunderstorms and power cuts. And then I just slept absolutely atrociously badly at the weekend, which was not fun. Right, so presumably the fuel, what's it, is on the other side. Oxygen's at 2 minutes, got to keep an eye on that.
Oxygen reserves are low.
Right, I guess we'll go get more O2. I mean, there's a minute and a half, but we might as well. Right, oxygen, fuel we're fine for, 6 tethers, that'll be alright for now. Whoop. Let's get cutting. There's the power cell. Tether upgrades will come in handy. Yeah, I imagine they will. Utility key. Bert, 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 Bert. Which is exactly the sound it makes, obviously. Right, what else? We could decouple the top panels as well, actually. Or do we, no, let's pull the side panels away first. So we have to be careful of those frames because I think they're sort of fragile. As in, you can't tether stuff directly to them. I'll remember eventually which one's the tether and which one's just
Tether supplies are low.
the normal one. Honestly, I will. Someday. Might not be any day soon, but someday I will.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
So that just leaves the power cell on the work order. 5 minutes remaining. Right, more tethers, and we might as well get some fuel while we're there. Oh, the plates on top of the frames. Okay, the frames themselves are fine.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Tethers fuel.
Your business is appreciated.
Oh, thank you for the follow there. Kinetic. Oh, that looked like it was leaking slightly, but it's fine. It's fine. Does that now not want to go on the barge? No, it was just being a bit finicky. Right.
Credit applied.
Oh, cool stuff. Ow! Ouch!
Helmet damage detected. Be sure to always budget for helmet repair costs.
Don't do that. Can I use a repair kit from my inventory? No? How do I do that then? Or can I only do that from inside?
Valuable object processed.
So don't smack yourself in the face with bits of spaceship. I believe we covered this already, but apparently I didn't fully pay attention. That was one of those do as I say, not as I do moments, clearly. Right, so did I grab the fuel cell? I don't think I did actually. Where was that? Also, I totally just wasted another tether. I'm so good at remembering the controls for this game.
Credits deposited.
So good. Right. All that's just left is the... So basically what we were doing before, it's just taken us longer to get to this point. So let's cut away the roof panels. Possibly won't get them in time, but... just for the sake of neatness and completeness, I don't know. There's still about 35% of the value of this ship left, so... should be enough time to grab the... Yeah, I figured that's what the bar was.
Caution.
No,
Tether supplies running low.
I didn't... Okay, that was not me that time. Those controls being a bit finickety. I was holding down the trigger button, but for some reason it flickered, and that was enough time to waste a tether. And I was trying to reel it in instead.
Salvage secured. Credits
Whoop.
deposited.
Oh, I've damaged that. Oh, ouch.
Warning. Electrical damage.
Right, that's
Note
still
excess
got enough
electrical damage has
to be
been
worth
found
putting
to
on the barge.
negatively impact long-term job satisfaction.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Guess we'll use both of those, seeing as how I do like that little gimmick of, you know, if you get damaged, then suddenly your suit radio malfunctions. And you start hearing jaunty music.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Right.
Oxygen reserves are low. Reminder, asphyxiation can lead to missed salvage quotas.
All right, Cutter. Wrap it up. You got about a
Let's
minute
decouple
left.
the front section. There might actually be enough time in the next shift if we do another shift that I can cut away the aluminium panels from the cockpit. I probably still won't bother with the ridiculous nonsense that is the airlock, though. Airlocks are just... I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what they were thinking when they made airlocks that annoying. Let's just grab on random light fitting. There's enough time for that at least.
Warning.
No, I'm trying to grab the light
Oxygen reserves are
fitting.
critical.
There we go. Whatever small amount of credits that's worth.
Deposited.
Right. 1.4 million. Not bad. Let's finish this one off. Why not? In terms of money, we're certainly doing all right. Repair both those. I guess my helmet just gets repaired automatically. Don't know. Right, that's the osmosis thing, but we don't have enough for that. Suit integrity. I could go for the audio upgrade. Or there was something in the grapple I was looking at as well, wasn't there? Tether amount. It was tether amount, so let's buy that. Start shift, continue salvage. And full on tethers, full on everything else, so that's fine. Right, so the top panels. Whoop. Need to be pushed up. Don't know if that helps at all, actually, if you push against them there, but anyway. Actually, I don't mind pushing them over there. This one's much closer. Well, closer.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Right, so that's cockpit detached. Right, let's demonstrate, I guess, just how much of a pain in the arse airlocks are. Oh, quite long enough. Right, these bars have to go. And you'd think, okay, that seems a bit of a faff. But, oh no, there's more than that. Oh, I'm almost melting the entire front panel there. Right, I don't think that's going to be worth much, but it's fine. Right, so we actually managed to detach that front panel entirely. So that's all furnace. Is this actually sufficiently disconnected, or do we need to burn? We have to burn these parts as well. Right, are we free? Yes, right, so that's cut that free. But even then, well, the interior part is all furnace stuff. The exterior part is processor stuff. So if you want to be really complete, you have to cut all these aluminium panels away. I'm really only doing this because we're onto an extra shift and I'm just like, well, why not? And even then, it's this awkward split into kind of 3 parts. Which, that's not actually free yet, is it? I don't know. I really am literally only doing this because I have the time. Oh, I have to cut it on the inside, I guess. Or is it just... No, that should be... No, okay. Probably easier to cut it from the inside anyway. Oh, that split saw along the edge of the whole way and then floor part where it connects there. I might have to experiment with, I'm not entirely sure what you mean when you put it like that. Oh, how's that not disconnected? Sometimes the Kung tool's definitely a bit on the... there we go. So that's all still furnace bits. That's all still furnace bits. But I should now be able to make a cut along here if I do it right.
Your oxygen reserves are low.
We'll cut along the
Note that
entire
excess
thing.
carbon dioxide can cause
There we
damage
go.
to Link's equipment.
For this one, it'll be 2 cuts, I guess. So you see why generally you wouldn't do this, because the way it's constructed is such a complete pain in the arse. Right, so that whole section can go in the processor. And the rest is all for the... even then, there's still chunks on there that really are meant for furnace. But yeah, so probably this is not even remotely worth the time. This is literally just demonstrative purposes.
Processing valuable objects. Credits.
So aluminium is worth far less than the nanocarbon.
Please revisit your training.
And even then, there was some aluminium still on there. Oh, just the last 3 cuts. Oh, I see what you mean. But even then, it doesn't speed it up that much. Yeah, right. Oxygen.
Oxygen levels stabilized.
Oh, I just wasted a bunch of credits there. Actually, that's all in. Let's just get extra fuel as well. So that's airlocks. Complete pain in the arse.
Material deposited.
Right, so what's left of this? Oh. Nope. Can you say a misclick when it's a controller? Don't know. So this is, I don't know, slightly easier, but kind of not.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
So that whole aluminium faceplate comes away. Where are we at? Just over 5.5 minutes. Don't know why it comes away like that, none of the others do. And then you're left with this interior paneling, which is almost as big as a faff. But again, you can make those lengthways cuts, because the laser cutter doesn't care about how thick the material is that you're actually cutting through for some reason.
You've got about 5 minutes left in this shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. We wrap.
And for some reason that doesn't count as being attached at the front. So once you've done that, they just pull out.
Deposit accepted.
Oh yeah, there's still a door control panel there. Worth as much as the... yeah, it probably is. Oh, actually, there's still a front section of paneling there. Like I said, it doesn't need to disconnect. Maybe it does. Oh, that part's disconnected somehow. Yeah, I don't quite know what it's doing now. I think time-wise, we're not going to get to do all this. I just want to
Material deposited.
boot the rest of it into the processor. We've got time to make one more cut. Whoop. So yeah, those are probably the two most complicated parts on the mackerel in terms of
Raw
not
material
being worth the time.
credits deposited.
Whoop. Any other loose panels? No, let's just pitch the rest of it into the processor at this point. So you can cut out the rest, but there's just not enough time really. So these ones, yeah, they do take an extra shift if you want to do the whole lot, but we'll see if it was actually worth doing the whole lot. I might just stick to 2 shifts and doing the valuable stuff. That might be more worthwhile time-wise.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
There we go. Don't think there's anything else. No spare bags of space crisps. That's true, yeah, there was still a fair bit of nanocarbon left there. Well, we'll soon find out anyway. Oof. No. That was not worth coming out for an extra shift just to finish that off. So we effectively lost about 150k? It's not that much, but yeah. Right, let's take a look at certification. So basically another ship will finish most of the work orders, but there's going to be a bit of grinding. Grinding, that's the word. Grinding, even. That's another 3 ships to finish off the credits. 2 if I'm really lucky, but probably 3. So I don't think we'll do any more tonight. It's actually past midnight. I've just realised that, and that pretty much demonstrates the lower levels of the game quite nicely anyway. But I'm certainly going to play a bit more myself. And at the point where I've got the bigger vessels unlocked, I'll probably come back and stream a bit more anyway. And if there's anything you particularly want to see, I will put the whole lot up on YouTube anyway. So yeah, you can go and check that out on my channel, which you'll find down under the actual stream. You'll find all the information down there about YouTube and Twitter and whatnot. So, I'll do what I usually do, find someone to host. Thank you all for the follows. We had a good couple of follows this evening and some resubs as well, so those are all appreciated. Let's see who's doing the warships. Who's doing the boaty boats? See who's streaming. iChase. Overlord Boo. I don't really recognise many of these people. Occasionally I pick somebody just because I really enjoy their name. The Newbie Gamer Dude, who's got 3 people watching. But I don't know, I guess we'll drop you off with iChase then. For the warships crowd. So, yeah, thank you all for actually tuning in. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. I'm certainly enjoying this game, and I look forward to what we'll see in future. So have a good evening wherever you are, and I shall catch you next time.